Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shows. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by today. Let's talk about the 10 things that make up the fantasy of the Filipino woman for foreign men. Now, yesterday I made the video, the 10 things Filipinos expect from you. Well, I got beat over my head in the comments. You could go in there. I mean, it's like, well, why don't you make up 10 things men expect out of a Filipino? Well, we're all over the place. We're obsessed with Filipino women. So she's almost become a fantasy, almost not even a real life woman. So I want to talk about the fantasy that goes on in men's minds when they think about Filipino woman. There's no perfect woman. This isn't even true to most people. This is just a fantasy, okay? So don't get it twisted. But the number one thing that we think about when we think about the Filipino woman is sex. I'm just going to be honest. Sex is the currency that men want to be paid with for doing everything that we do. But we just don't want ordinary sex in our minds, especially when we think about Filipinas, women in Southeast Asia. We want a freak. We want somebody that's going to help us live out every damn fantasy we've ever had. From the time we were teenagers all the way up to now. But let me be straight about something as far as sex. With men, it's more than just a physical act. It's the way that we connect with our partner. And a lot of us have been disconnected for a whole lot of years. But there's something called oxytocin. They call it the sex hormone, the love hormone, the cuddle hormone that's produced when we get excited about our sexual partner. This is what makes men want to be the protectors, the lovers, and all of that. Yeah, but number one is sex, okay? Period, end story, okay? That is our currency. Pay me with that. Two is loyalty and trustworthiness. We want to know, are you real? Is the love that we have for you the same that you have for us? Because that's a big question on a lot of men's minds over here. Does she really love me? Or is she just with me for what I can do for her? What I have, what I can do for her. And also, this is the problem with long distance relationships. This is why men, it's so important to me. Can I trust you? I'm not here. Because believe it or not, Filipinos, whether this is true or not, they have a reputation among us as being players. I don't know where it came from, but it just does. It says, oh, he's the age gap, so she's got a younger Filipino man over here she's dealing with. So can we trust you in all aspects? Because remember, we're looking for a perfect woman. There is no perfect woman. We think that the Filipino is going to be the perfect woman. She's going to solve all our problems. And even though you guys don't say it out loud, you say it in your comments, in conversation, what you're thinking. But we want a woman who's loyal, who's trustworthy. That's number two. This is in order as far as I see it. Number three is submissive. We want a submissive woman. When we think about women here, we think of them as being submissive. Follow the leader. I'm the president, and you're the vice president. There's nothing wrong with that. But do as I say, not as I do. We want a non-confrontational woman. We've had enough of that in our home countries. Okay, I'm going somewhere, so it's okay to follow me. I'm not going to mistreat you. But the buck stops here. Okay, the next thing is attractive. We want an attractive woman. Even though we're a 2, we want a 15. We expect a woman over here to be at least 11. We want the perfect skin, the perfect body, the flowing hair. This is the fantasy that we've created in our minds about Filipinos. And it may not be true, but that's why they call it a fantasy. We're obsessed with women here. It's not like she's even real. She's got all the answers to the questions. She's the solution to our problem. But one of the big things that we're concerned about is attractiveness. They're cute as a button. We want them to be sexy. So yeah, attractive. All right, now, like I said, a lot of this doesn't have to, pertain to you, but I'm talking about the 10 things that make up the fantasy of the Filipino woman for foreign men. Attractive is number 4. Number 5 is the cheerleader. We want somebody that's going to give us that Filipino makeover. We look better. We're smarter. We're not as big as what we think we are. She's going to pick our low self-esteem off the ground and put it back to where it's supposed to be. We want somebody that's always there, to pick us up when we're down. She's the cheerleader. That's what cheerleaders do. To give us our due. When we do something good, we want the appreciation and all of that. But yeah, we want a cheerleader, and that's what we think of. The next one is simple. We want a woman that's simple. You don't have to be anything else. We like that modesty. We don't want a woman that's all of a sudden going to change on us. Men are simple, and we like simplicity, and we like simple women. You're not hard to deal with. You're not expensive. You don't want a whole lot. And when we think of you, this is what we think about, the simplicity. One thing that I'm going to say that men want in a Filipino woman is she's feminine. We expect that over here. This is the reputation that Filipinos have. They're feminine. They're gentle. Easy to break. They love being women. They don't want to be men. They don't walk around with a blunt or smoking cigarettes and drinking liquor and just, driving trucks and trying to do all the things that men do. We want a woman that's graceful. She's delicate. And this is what we expect. This is the fantasy that's in our minds about women. All women aren't the same. For some reason, we think that, Filipino women are different than all other women. This is just what we've made up in our minds. Yeah, the circumstances and the culture and everything makes her different. But at the end of the day, she's a woman. But yeah, we love a feminine woman. This is what we expect. This is what we look forward to. Something else, support. We want a supportive woman. What do you mean support? Well, a lot of guys are hung up on that. All she wants me for is my money stuff. So we would like a woman that's going to help us with the bills, or at least has her own money. Remember, this is a fantasy, but this is what men want. This is what we expect. That she's independent. She, they have a reputation for being clingy. Look, we want a woman that's got her own life, her own activities, her own friends. Don't nag me. Don't always be my shadow. And I don't even know if this is going to work, but this is what we expect. This is what we're looking for. And remember back in the conversation I talked about, we want a woman that's non-confrontational. Not realizing that some of these women will get up in your face, but this is what we want. This is the fantasy of the Filipino woman in the mind of the foreign man. That she's not confrontational. That no matter what I do, we're going to be able to work it out. But there's not going to be any arguing. Nobody's going to raise their voice. it goes back to being feminine. You know, she's not manly. Yeah, she doesn't want to fight us. We're tired of fighting. So there you have it, guys. I wanted to give this to you because I got hit over the head yesterday. The guys was like, man, you know, when is that video coming? What we expect out of Filipino women, well, really, it's all a fantasy, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, a deep fantasy that we've created in our minds about this little 5 foot, 100-pound woman. And it's everything I talked about if you can be honest. You know, but yeah, let's don't pretend. Yes, sex is the currency men want to be paid with for everything we do, for the time we spend coming over here, all the money we're spending. But we just don't want sex. We want a freak. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. If you're in America, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, wherever you are, America, man, specifically. Shout out to the U.S. men's basketball team for winning that gold, man. It made me proud to be an American again. I mean, really, I haven't lost that love for my country. I just live over here. Shout out to Michael Reinhold. I couldn't find a way to send you an email, brother, but I want to let you know I appreciate you. Now the day goes by, I don't help somebody. I'm headed down to Dumaguete to do my extension. Nothing's going to change. It hasn't changed, you know. Filipino government has always had the discretion of whether or not to renew our visas or not. It's never been 100%. But, you know, it makes for good theater. It makes for good drama and videos. But I don't think you have anything to worry about. Remember, genius did not skip the Philippines. These immigration fees generate billions of pesos every year. It was a genius idea somebody came up with. They said, hey, we don't get all the tourists that all these other countries get, so we'll make up for it by letting them stay longer and charging them to do it. I don't think they're going to mess that up. If they do, I'll really be shocked. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. Okay, get that fantasy out of your mind. Remember, these are real women. They're not from outer space. But there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Okay? That's my send back for y'all. That's my gift. Because remember, I'm going to give you the 360. But I'm one of the few vloggers that talk about what we want. What the man expects. Because it's not all about a woman. I'm going to talk about in my next video why you should make your first trip to the Philippines all about you. Don't make it an exploration trip. Don't make it about coming to see a woman. Just come over here. Because that's what I did.